Hi, so this is Elizabeth Mendoza. I'm going to be talking about McLuhan and his ideas of the medium as a message, and along with the other video about social justice and the internet. So, the first thing I find interesting about Marshall McLuhan is I've heard a lot about him the past 3 years of being in college because of I'm a media studies major, so he is definitely iconic in that department. And the medium is a message. For some reason, when I saw that, I immediately thought of dating because there's all these like little rules to dating, like um, or like before you're dating, if you are just texting, then you're not as serious if you like call each other. So it's not important like what exactly you're talking about when you're communicating, but it's how you communicate. So if you're like talking on the phone, it's way more serious than if you're just texting or Facebook chatting or what have you. So I find that really interesting, like in today's society, how it's relevant to today's society. And McLuhan, predicted this like 40 years ago, and people thought that he was kind of weird and strange and crazy, and but it's relevant today, and that's why it's like he's still read countless times, and um, he's really respected in the media community for today. And also with like the mediums, like there's like different definitions of what you can use those mediums for. Like as in the podcast, it's Twitter is an example, and I personally am not a Twitter fan. I don't use it, but they make a good argument that like they can't say what it's for, but because it's different things for different people. And um, me, on the other hand, I think it's just used for one thing, but for other people, it's a way to get news, to like communicate with friends, and that's important to them. So that's why Twitter is so successful, because it is not limited to what it can be used for. It can be used for any purposes that you find necessary. Um, the other thing that I found interesting was the video about the impact of internet on social change and democracy. And I guess in a way, our generation, the young generation that has all this technology, is very naive and very convinced that like our generation and our technology will help other countries who we think may need our help or may don't have our Western values and need them, that the technology that we have will help them make them more like us, when that's not necessarily true, because not only do we use the technology, but the other leaders who have been who are leading the current government also use it and are very aware of what is going on right now with I guess you could say protesters and people who are fighting against it through technology. And I mean, we have this idea that it's so easy to promote democracy that all you have to do is blog about it or tweet about it and just put like a post, and like automatically or almost instantaneously, like there will be some kind of change of some sort. And that's not true. And I feel like our generation needs to be more informed on how to use this technology in order to create a better world, not necessarily just for democracy, because not everyone wants to be a democracy, which sounds terrible. It sounds like I'm a communist or something, but it's true. Like, it's, I mean, you have to understand that not everyone has our Western values, and using the technology that we have, we can learn more about what other people's values are and use that more to create a more peaceful society than just slamming down our values and our beliefs down other people's throats. So that concludes my response to this week's readings.